So it's Monday and we already had another fault lined up. We got a call over the weekend to come and investigate some faulty kitchen power, so we were ready to go. We had an RCBO board, so we were already narrowed down to one circuit, and the customer had already unplugged things and tried things that way first, so we were a little way into it. Another board where the tails and earth enter at different entry points, not sure why people haven't got that yet. Anyway, we steamed straight into the ring testing and wanted to make sure there was continuity on the circuit, so we did on the lives and neutrals but nothing on the earths, so that was the first find. Wanted to do some insulation testing next, as that's always vital, and had to remove this USB socket because this always causes problems and we don't want anything showing up on these tests. Even with everything unplugged and disconnected, we still had readings that were really poor, so started having a look around visually and started splitting the ring circuit like we normally do, finding all these delights along the way that we needed to rectify too. With that normal process, we'd narrowed it down now to this point. This is certainly where there was no earth continuity on this piece of cable, and then also this is where the insulation was very, very low too. Had a furry friend to help me out today. After spending a bit more time just narrowing it down, making sure we knew exactly what cable was at fault, we could start to isolate it and start testing the other sides. At that point, everything was clear, so I livened them up as 2 radials just to make sure everything did come back on up to those points. That was now all good, so as we were putting back, we started making good on some of these sockets too. Then we worked our way back in reverse and started putting things back together again, back up to the point of the faulty cable. The cable went under a tile floor, so there wasn't much we could do for it, but we made sure all the sockets were working, and it was a case of going to get 2 20 amp breakers to make sure we could put it over 2 radial circuits. Thankfully, there was enough space in the board. Got both of the RCBOs in and just made sure that the circuit was sufficiently split that it would split between 2 20s, no problem. It was then time to get it all back on again. Turn the circuits back on, carried out the RCBO tests and the ZS readings. Got all the information written down on the certificate, and then printed some labels for the fuse board because now the circuits were different designations. So now it was just time to tidy up. We had all the sockets working. Thankfully, because of the break in the cable, we pretty much managed to split it half and half in the circuit over 2 20 amp radials, so the load should be no problem. And it was a case of clearing and wiping down as always. And that was that. A great find, a very happy customer. And as always, follow us for more.